This is Felt Recoil.
All right, welcome to the Felt Recoil podcast, episode number 44. My name is Chris. Straight across from me is Patrick. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
Good. To my right is Trey from Rugged Suppressors. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How about you?
Yeah, does it feel like you have a little deja vu right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Little technical difficulties. We had to start again. We're going to speak with Trey. Rugged Suppressors, fantastic company. And in case I forget to say it later, also a fantastic company. Gun guys for gun enthusiasts. Their mission statement is half-assing it is not in our vocabulary. You can learn everything you need to know about them at ruggedsuppressors.com. But we'll dive deep on what it's like to work for a suppressor company, what it takes to make a good suppressor, and much more here in just a second. First, let's talk about this week's charity of choice. This week's charity is called Folds of Honor, and if you ever stop at a QT, you can actually support Folds of Honor while you're at QT. Since 2007, the Folds of Honor has carried forth a singular noble mission to provide educational scholarships to spouses and children of America's fallen and disabled service members. They will tell you that their motto says it best: honor their sacrifice, educate their legacy. You can learn more about them at feltrecoilshow.com/charities, feltrecoilshow.com/charities, and we have a link set up for you there to click over and donate some of your good hard-earned money to Folds of Honor. Again, as always, you can pay your taxes to the government and then they'll decide how to spend your money, or you give your money to good people and then tell the government you already paid your taxes. That's the way to do it. All right. Trey from Rugged Suppressors is with us. Is it as awesome as one would suppose to work for Rugged Suppressors?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
You really can't say no, but you can. Nobody listens. Wink, wink. It's Rugged Suppressors, founded in 2014, just a few years old, really, in all actuality. But you're headed up by a couple of guys with a lifetime of industry experience. Henry Graham and Michael Derziak.
Right.
I get it right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Tell us a little bit of the backstory of the company, and then we're going to do one question 5 times.
So Henry's been in the industry since 2004. He got involved at SWR, ended up owning it, sold it to Silencer Co. in 2011. He designed the Spec War, the Spectra, and I think I'm pronouncing that right, and the Octane.
Okay.
So we may be new under this name, but we're really not new to the industry.
Understood. And so how did Mike get involved then?
They met, I want to say through a gun broker ad, actually. I think
want to
Henry,
run a suppressor company with me?
I think Henry was selling something on there, a transferable or something,
Okay.
and he noticed he was local. Was like, hey,
That's funny,
it's hard
'cause
finding other guys that are.
I met Chris because I was selling a coffee table on Craigslist, and somehow we started doing this.
Yeah,
so
Trey, it was
happens.
a coffee table. Wink, wink.
Right.
Coffee table Craigslist guy.
It just came with an AR.
Sure, that was it. Trey's a nice guy. You can tell his mind doesn't go where mine does. That's good. Okay. Let's play one question 5 times before we get too far into it. Are you ready? Feel prepared?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the one gun everybody should own?
AR-15.
Yeah?
I mean, it's easy to build. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it. So many different sizes, shapes, calibers. I mean, you name it, you can do it.
All right, AR-15. That gives you something in common with Larry Vickers, so good for you.
And myself. That was my answer as well.
Yeah, but Larry Vickers made it sound better. So,
all right, fair enough.
Plus 20,000 downloads. I don't know what your episodes got where we asked you.
I'm a little short. Short.
All right, what's the one book you think everybody should read?
Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Why is that? What's in there?
Well, I mean, it's been a long time since I've read it, but it just teaches you, to choose your battles, take the path of least resistance when achieving goals. I mean, it applies a lot to everyday life, like who you should surround yourself with, how to make decisions, educated decisions, and things like that.
So it's more than what the title would suggest. We're not just learning how to fight people with swords and shields. Right. Okay. What's the one film you think everybody should see?
Not really a film, but Generation Kill. the miniseries from HBO.
Okay.
It's pretty great.
Is it? I haven't seen it. Tell me about it.
It's actually on Amazon Prime. So it follows a group of recon Marines through the invasion of Iraq, and they portray it as almost like a road trip, sort of. A reporter from Rolling Stone gets embedded with them. It's just his account. Some of the guys actually play themselves in the movie. It's serious, but it's got really funny moments in it as well. I work with a lot of veterans, obviously,
Sure.
and it's funny to hear them say, like, yeah, that's pretty much what the military was like.
Is it that typical dark humor you tend to get out of vets? Or
Yeah,
is it,
a good bit, but
a lot of dry, dark humor seems
Yeah,
to be the theme, huh?
pretty much.
What's the one album you think everybody should go out and download right now?
Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Really?
Yeah.
Watch out for Patrick. He might throw a haymaker at you. Did you grow up on that?
My dad kind of exposed me to a lot of different types of music.
And
Southern
marijuana?
rock, country and stuff like that. Do it.
And marijuana?
No.
But
I don't know,
yeah,
it's
just an eclectic music taste, courtesy
Yeah,
of Dad, and
pretty much.
that was one of the things that stuck with you.
Yep.
Is there like a do you find some sentimentality attached to it because of Dad?
Pink Floyd, not so much, but
Okay.
like CCR, definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to jam out to CCR a lot.
That's funny. Yeah, I had a high school friend who's a huge CCR fan, and every time I hear them, I think of him. So it's a little nostalgic. You hear them, and
Yeah.
you don't think of them as a band. You tend to think of this person. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Good. All right. And what's the one piece of advice you would give your 18-year-old self?
Quit using tomorrow as an excuse. If you want it, just go do it.
Wow.
No one's going to give it to you. Just do
I
it.
like that a lot.
That is really sharp. Quit using tomorrow as an excuse.
That's by far the most concise answer anyone's given.
That's really sharp. Can you look at Patrick's eyes and say that again?
Son of...
All right, let's run down it. The gun is the AR-15. The book is The Art of War. The film is Generation Kill. It's a miniseries. You can find it on Amazon Prime for sure. The album is Dark Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd. And quit using tomorrow as an excuse. I really like that. All right. Rugged Suppressors. So obviously there's not, the suppressor market, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, it doesn't seem as crowded as a typical handgun market, right? So
Right.
your choice of suppressors is somewhat limited. What sets Rugged apart from the others?
So first thing, warranty. No matter what, as long as you can give us the serialized portion, preferably in one piece, we'll rebuild it. No cost.
Really?
Just to touch on that, we actually had a guy, his dad's truck caught on fire, and everything that was attached to the rifle that was aluminum was gone. It was on an AR-15. So everything but the razor itself, the barrel, and then I guess the bolt carrier group and miscellaneous parts, that was all that was left. So we took it in, we checked the hardness to make sure that nothing was altered by the heat of the fire itself, reheat treated it, rebuilt it, sent it out maybe a week, and he's actually still shooting it today.
Holy moly.
That is amazing.
Smacks hogs all the time.
What's your role at Rugged? What do you do?
I do a little bit of everything. We're a pretty small company, so I do everything from the customer service. I do trade shows, SHOT Show, NRA, etc. And then I go to like the demo events.
Do
things
prestigious
like that.
things like come on this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
okay.
Fair enough.
And I do the Cerakote as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that an arduous process there? Walk us through Cerakoting an object.
So you start off with, say a Glock.
Okay.
You would strip it all the way clean. Firing pin. There's actually a small nylon piece in them called channel liners, I believe. Mm-hmm. Not even on the blueprint.
In the striker channel?
Yeah. Not even on the blueprint. I found it because after you bake them, they come out.
Oh, no.
So you have to completely degrease the part. Guys who do actual like guns and things like that, they have tanks for that. They put it in the oven, gas it out, and then soak it again. Since our parts are new, we just need to degrease them really thoroughly, sandblast it, and then I paint it. Now the surface has to be perfectly clean when I get it, so there can't be any dust or debris or fingerprint smudges or anything like that. So it gets totally cleaned. I spray it. I hang it to dry. and then it's good to go.
So you get somebody's, let's just assume you get somebody's Glock in the mail. Not that you guys do this, but just for sake of understanding the process. How do you rid it of all the debris and dirt and any sort of filament sitting on top? You compressed air? Like, what are we talking here?
Well, for the debris itself, compressed air, yeah. But I actually boil my slides whenever I do them.
Really?
I mean, I don't have the infrastructure for a tank and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I boil them in solvent or something like that. I don't know if that's particularly recommended, but it hasn't failed me since.
Cerakote's going to revoke your certification.
Yeah, right. What about like
I
a
don't even know
sonic
that's
cleaner?
a thing. I just feel like it should be.
No, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about a sonic cleaner? Can you drop it? What's the difference?
I mean, that would get a good bit of it off. I don't think it would degrease it.
Okay.
But that would definitely get it on the way to being clean enough.
Sure.
Whatever
Okay.
you want to say.
So you degrease it, and then we're dipping it into the Cerakote. Like you have a vat of Cerakote, or how do you do that?
Uses a HVLP gun. It's a high volume, low pressure. So I paint at 20 to 23 psi.
Okay.
And it puts out a lot of paint for the little bit of air.
Okay.
So basically, it allows you to not have to have a huge air compressor or something like that. It lets the hobbyists kind of get into it too.
Yeah. Okay. And so there's a certification process? What do you go over to Cerakote and
There is.
show them how you do what you do? Or they come to you?
I think it's like a 2-day course. You have to go out to Oregon. They train you. They make sure you know everything about it. I mean, from what I understand, it's how they make it, troubleshooting tips and things like that. They promote the heck out of you.
Yeah.
They put you on their locator. They send you like flyers and stuff like that. It seems like a great opportunity for someone that's getting into that.
Why Cerakote a suppressor?
We use high temperature stuff. It's right up to, I believe, like 1600 degrees or something crazy like that. It's abrasion resistant, UV protectant or resistant, and the high temperature is what we really need it for.
Okay.
I haven't tried any other similar products. Cerakote's the only thing I know, so I stick with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a safe bet, though, because it's sort of the industry standard.
Pretty much. I've never heard of any other companies using anything else, but I'm sure it's out there.
You know, there's somebody out there right now going, I'm going to hydro dip these bad boys.
It's funny you say that.
In snakeskin.
That's right. And zebra print.
There was a guy I went to college with who did hydro dipping, and he said he's done turbos before.
Really?
And turbos get hot.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I don't know if that's normal or not, but
just because he did it doesn't mean it lasted.
Right. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
What he left out is the part where he told the guy, it's probably going to go away
Probably
immediately,
shouldn't run
right?
this at all.
No.
What's that smell?
I got it, yeah. All right. So what's involved in actually from idea inception to delivery of a suppressor, and not just the engineering? I'm sure there's vast amounts of engineering, but legally for you guys, how does all that work dealing with the ATF?
So the ATF actually kind of works with you. I mean, they don't want to see you get in trouble, and you don't want to be in trouble with them.
Sure they don't. Wink, wink. You have to say it. You have to say it.
I mean, it's not too bad. I haven't really done much of the paperwork side.
Yeah.
You've got to get your FFL, your SOT, and then you have to also register with ITAR. And that's $2,250 a year, so it's kind of expensive. Definitely not going to be one of those things where you just go out and get your SOT and have all the toys you want.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I guess if you had enough money, you could, but
If I have an SOT,
I've talked to tons of guys that think that that's how it works. So.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep, I'm just going to get one of those licenses and I'm going to buy all my machine guns.
oh yeah, all these class 3 supposed licenses that you always hear about.
yeah. So if I have an SOT, it's a 3, right? Because aren't there a few SOTs? SOT is special operating tax, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then there's a couple of classifications on that, right?
Right. I want to say there's 01 and 07. I'm not really sure.
Okay, but if I have one that allows me to manufacture suppressors, and I come to you and I want to buy a couple, do I still go through the ATF process?
You would need to Form 3 it.
So just like a regular old individual, or probably at that point register it to a corporation, into whatever.
Right. So Form 3s, they've been taking... I think Silencer Shop actually had one that took like 6 minutes recently.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
And then I guess they would just take possession of it. It still has to go through the ATF to let them know. But like an individual, they would need a Form 4, or a trust would need a Form 4.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting into the legals, I have to ask you the one question that I finally get to ask someone else, because it gets asked of me all the time, right?
Not sure if I'll be able to answer, but we can try.
Where are we at on this hearing protection thing?
I wish I knew.
What are we doing?
I mean...
What do
sorry.
you mean you don't know?
Yeah, not to step on any toes. This isn't Silencer Co.
Oh.
They didn't create the problem. Don't berate Trey from Rugged.
It's
Okay?
not even that.
He didn't do it.
It's just that because I work in a gun store, I get asked every day, all day, hey man, where are we at on this thing? As if I have any control over it.
Well,
Right.
I mean, you guys aren't on the ATF newsletter?
Yeah, I get it every day.
I mean, we get the insider scoop every day, obviously.
I just delete it to prove a point.
Yeah,
I just
don't
wanted to
even look
pass
at
the
it.
buck. That's all.
Yeah.
I just want to give somebody else the grief that I feel on a daily basis.
Well, it's like, I don't know what a proper analogy would be, but because there's no other industry, I think, as heavily regulated. I mean, maybe in like work environments, but when you try and compare it to what other industry exists because of the rights you're given by God himself? You know what I'm saying? Like, the ATF only exists to regulate your rights under the Second Amendment, right?
The media, First Amendment, buddy.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. Yeah, all right, there you go. That would work, actually. So to help you understand, if you don't understand the joke here, it's as if the media had to request permission to report certain stories, and then there was a government body in between. Let's just use inside info on the president. How about anonymous sources within the White House? And if they had one, they'd have to go through some sort of process where they would have
pay
to
$200.
Yeah, pay $200.
And they can't tell the public about it for 12 months.
Exactly right. Exactly. It's so absurd and so convoluted when you get into it that it's tough for people to understand that when they go in and say, I want to deal in this, that it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work where you just get to come in and deal in this. It's so strangely put together. And one of the conversations we had yesterday at work was how nobody seems to have a solid answer on certain things, because actually it was a class 3 item came in. A gentleman had bought it as an individual, and then we ran a background check on him and he got delayed. And then we started talking about, well, wait, why is he having to do a background check if his tax stamp just came in from the federal government saying he was allowed to take it home? And the answer we got basically was because the ATF is the ATF.
Said so.
Yeah, they say you have to do
Because now
it.
he has permission to own it, but we haven't transferred it technically yet.
But explicitly on the 4473, it suggests that the only reason to run a background check, and I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong here, I'm just saying how confusing it all is. It specifically says that you only run the background check on a trust or a corporation, not on an individual. And so it became, well, wait a second, it doesn't say here explicitly that we have to run it on an individual. And the answer was legitimately, listen, we went to an ATF class, they told us how to do it, this is the way they want it done, and better safe than sorry. And I just thought, man, how strange to be in a position where you've gone through every hula hoop you can to get your suppressor, and then you come in like, one more thing.
Can you imagine being that guy that legitimately waited a year?
Yeah.
And then you come in and you go, well, now you got to have a background check through FBI NICS. Sorry, man. Delayed. Hey, listen, we'll give you a call. Maybe 3 to 5 days. Could go up to 30. You never know.
He was nice about it. I do want to say that. But man, I'd have been mad. I'd have been real
I'd
mad.
probably lost my mind.
I'd be like, okay, so
After a year,
who refunds my money at this point? Who refunds it? All right, anyway. Sorry for the rabbit trail there, Trey. All right, where were we? Rugged Suppressors. Trey's here from Rugged Suppressors. Please check ruggedSuppressors.com. Trey, one of the things I like about the suppressor industry that, and I'm kind of new to all this, if you can't tell from some of my questions, but it seems we're reaching a point where suppressor companies want to create a suppressor that will fit as many items as possible so that I have to buy fewer. So if I'm shopping Rugged Suppressors, what would you say is the most versatile suppressor you have?
Definitely the Obsidian. The Obsidian 45, it'll do pretty much every handgun round, 45 and under. You can do subsonic 300 blackout. You can do tri-lugs for your MP5 or your AR, your AR9. I mean, it's just
So
many
every
different-
handgun's covered pretty much,
Basically,
realistically,
yeah.
outside of my Desert Eagle, which we all can't handle what that's got to offer. I understand. But then my 300 Black as well is covered. I like that. Full auto rated is something I see a lot on your website.
No, you don't.
No,
No,
not full auto rated anymore.
you see Belle Federated.
Belt Federated. Oh wow, sorry. Okay, why?
Told you.
Why is that important?
So
For my and just since you said that to spite you, you know what I'm doing? I'm gonna get me one of them civilian saws, and then one of your Belt Federated. Be like, yeah.
I got a feeling Chris's wife is not going to be cool with him spending $9,000 on a semi-automatic belt-fed pretend machine gun.
Yep.
I mean, hey, good luck.
And my suppressor, right? Why is that important?
So not only is it full auto rated, we take that a step further and we say it's Belle Federated. So
Okay.
I want to say the standard is around 8 mags. We take that quite further, to be honest. It gives the consumer confidence that their investment is not going to get destroyed by them just dumping mags. Because with all of the new devices that are mimicking full auto, because I mean 99% of gunners don't have access to full auto, unfortunately.
Right.
Binary triggers.
Right,
And
slide fires,
Yeah.
you know, all sorts of things.
But not my
bump
full auto
firing
glove.
or whatever.
Full auto glove. Yeah.
It ain't happening. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that.
They announced it today. Ain't gonna happen.
Oh, man.
Color me heartbroken. Sorry, go ahead, Trey.
But it gives them, you know, confidence that, hey, like, I can basically do whatever I want with this thing as long as it's properly attached.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere.
But you guys do something cool that nobody else does. On your muzzle devices, there's actually a Nogo Gauge.
Yes.
So I think that's probably one of the smartest things I've ever seen when it comes to these types of things is you can't actually put it on wrong. Because if you do, you're just stupid. That's the only way I could look at it. I looked at that and went, huh. Nobody else has thought of that
Tell
yet,
you
huh?
what, I'll get it on wrong twice.
All right.
Challenge
All right.
accepted, Hulon.
No one but Chris.
I mean, as many times as you want, you're covered by the warranty.
Oh,
so.
see, there you go. That's what I like about it. Explain the Nogo Gauge. How's it operate?
So when you put your can over your muzzle device, once you lock it down, it should be covering a good portion of the go side.
Sure.
So, I mean, if it's above there, you should kind of be leery.
So I'm looking at the threading. Is that right?
You're looking
On
at
my muzzle device.
the muzzle device, and then you're looking at the collar and how far down it comes. It's
Okay.
right on the wrench flats.
Gotcha. Okay. On the suppressor itself, right?
The wrench flats on the muzzle device, and then the
Right.
collar on the suppressor.
On the suppressor. Yeah. All right. You guys are offering. You're offering a device. This is what I thought Patrick was about to ask you. That is kind of a muffler, but not a suppressor in the interim of buying a rugged suppressor.
It's a blast diverter.
A blast diverter.
So, similar to the Surefire Warlock or other similar. It's kind of like a dress-up item, sort
Sure.
of.
Yeah.
I actually really like mine. It is basically a surge cutoff or a razor, whichever. They look very similar. Same locking device, same muzzle devices. If you bought a suppressor within the promotion, we gave you one for free.
Right.
We actually just sent another one out not too long ago because the guy was waiting on his Form 4. But it takes the recoil away. I put it on my 30 caliber rifles. It felt less than my 223. I mean, it's
Really?
yeah. So it's exactly. It's all of the benefits of a muzzle brake, but the guys shooting next to you don't hate you.
Yep.
Because the percussion off of some of those
When I
is
shoot- Oh,
yeah, it's
unreal.
intense.
When I shoot
unreal.
next to
Absolutely.
Chris, I still hate him no matter what he's got on the end of the gun.
That's right.
That has nothing to do with it.
We're just peas in a pod. The blast diverter, is that going to be available on store shelves, or is that a limited time promotion?
We're kind of playing with that a little bit.
Yeah.
If we plan on.
I'll tell you, you talk about an impulse buy, though, man. If I walk in and I go, yeah, that's the one I want, let me get that Obsidian. And they go, yeah, and if you purchase this today, that you get this percentage off of it, and this is everything it does. You guys will scoop that up.
If you're waiting on a tax stamp, why not have it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's nice to play with. I mean, to
It's not
credit
gonna-
it because
it's not gonna take
it
the-
is nice. I mean, it's 17.4 stainless steel. I mean, it's a quality quality piece.
It's not going to take the place of your suppressor, obviously.
No.
But in the interim period while you're waiting on it, you can go ahead and put that muzzle device on and then use this until your can shows up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're out there buying a new toy, in a sense, right? That's the way we like to say it. Oh, I'm going to buy myself a new toy. Well, I'd probably buy that toy to play with while I wait on the big boy toy to show up, you know? It'd be a good time. So what's next on your travel agenda?
Iraq Veteran, the YouTube shoot. I think it's next month.
Okay, I think
that's the next one.
Did we get an invitation? Was that in the mail?
I checked my email earlier, but sometimes there's a delay.
What are you guys doing with him? That sounds like a good time.
Well, it's an annual shoot. A bunch of companies come out.
It's just a demo day for YouTubers?
Basically.
Yeah, just creating a bunch of buzz, right?
Yeah. Lets the companies get their stuff out there. Gets the YouTube guys a chance to play with all the cool new stuff. It's a great time. I actually went last year, and it was the first 2 or 3 weeks that I'd worked there, and it just completely blew my mind.
Yeah.
To be in the industry around all of that. I mean, it was guys that I watch on YouTube and like seeing them in real life. I mean, Hickok 45 is actually 10 feet tall. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, he's huge, right? Legit though.
He's similar to when he walked in tonight.
What?
Right? No,
okay, we don't know
not
that
at all.
guy.
All right.
And so that's when?
It's early October. I don't remember the exact date.
Okay.
When you get the invite, Chris, you'll know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sure it's on the way. Where would you say there's more stump the chump, at an industry event or at the NRA for consumers? Where do you get more people like pushing you to your knowledgeable limits and then waiting to correct you when you slip up at all?
I haven't really had anyone try to correct me. That's a good question. It's kind of a toss-up, really.
Yeah.
Because with SHOT, I mean, you get everybody. You get the guys who make Cordura, and you get the guys who also make suppressors. So it's kind of an odd mix, especially the international folks who aren't really used to seeing this kind of stuff. I don't really know.
Could you tell me, let me ask you this. Could you tell me the exact weight of every suppressor you sell?
I can get pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah? Okay, but not the exact weight.
Yeah.
Okay, because I need to know. Know. It's going to be very important.
Surge is 21 and a half.
Ounces or pounds?
Ounces. Come on. The Razor is 15.3.
Okay.
The Obsidian is 12.6, I believe. And then the Oculus is 6.9.
On that Razor, what's the total weight going to be when I put it on my Mark 12?
I don't know how much carbon you have.
I don't know. It's one of my favorite questions we get asked in the gun store is, how much does this weigh? I don't know, man. Like 2 pounds? It's like, how do I know how much a Taurus Model 85 weighs? Like off the top of my head. Look at how many guns are in here. How much free time would I have to have? How many years would I have had to spend behind this counter to have a legit idea of how much all of these
I can't even remember how many magazines they all come with.
No, well, that's impossible because that changes.
How many clips this got?
Yeah, I wonder about you guys. It's probably somewhat nice. We kind of, I mean, I'm not saying you've got it easy by any means, but it's nice to work hands-on with the product, and that's the product you deal with.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a little rusty. I haven't had to present in a while.
We're warming you up for that YouTube shoot, man.
There you go.
I mean, they're all looking at us for ideas anyway, so...
Right.
How do we get not subscribers? How do we make 45,000 subscribers go away? Oh, there you go. Do that. Do that right there. Is there anything about Rugged we didn't touch on that you want to touch on? Did I miss any highlights?
Not that I can really think of.
Anything in the pipe, in the works for Rugged that you want to tease while you're here?
We've got some cool stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Can't go into details, but...
What's your number one seller these days?
Seller? I think it's still the Surge.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Surge is kind of our flagship.
Okay.
It's our bread and butter.
I can see that.
Do you have any suppressor companies you hate that you want to badmouth before we
No.
Right.
Yeah, surprisingly, I thought that there would be more of a competition aspect to them, but every event that I've been to, everyone's been super nice.
Don't take his bait,
reps.
man. Just don't take his
I
bait.
thought Trey was finally going to go down my road here. I thought he was going to go down my road and go, I thought there'd be competition, but they all suck so hard. There ain't no competition. It's rugged all day. But he didn't. See, you're too nice for this room. All right, Trey, we appreciate your time, man. Visit RuggedSuppressors.com. They're belt-fed, auto, full-rated. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you totally screwed that up.
RuggedSuppressors.com, and look at their lineup. Unconditional lifetime warranty, half-assing it, not in the vocabulary. More information, feltrecoilshow.com, or visit RuggedSuppressors.com. We'll be back next week for number 44 of the Felt Recoil Podcast.